Hey doing, legends? Thank you very much for stopping by in this video, checking out a couple of my final thoughts on the week in terms of people you should bring into your squad if you have any trades left. We're gonna go through your little Q&A or your questions in the comments here, and then possibly some options for our team, the people squad, but also hopefully for you guys as well. But just saw a little post about a little meme about the Cowboys and the Broncos handing over the baton as the worst team in the comp. In Queensland especially, so just thought I'd chuck the old Cooper on just to make sure I support the Cowboys in their final days of being the second worst Queensland team. So there you go. Johan, can someone explain how to loop? Oh God, we're still here. Okay, hopefully this is the last time of the year, and Johan, you'll be perfect to be able to do this for next year onwards. What we need is a player that's going to be playing later in the week, but who isn't actually going to be playing. So if we're going for my squad, we have, let's say, the Bunnies. I have a Blake Taff in this squad. We have an Adam Doueihi who's not going to be playing. So the Tigers play a lot later in the week as well. Awesome. So Tigers play back in one of the last games of the week. Awesome. We can have Adam Doueihi sitting in our number 4 jersey. Okay, but really all you have to do at the start is if you have 18, 19 players. So for example, Verrills plays earlier in the week. We can put him in the number 5 jersey. If he doesn't play, if he scores well, we keep him there, obviously, because we can't change him. And what we do is bring Adam Doueihi into the 4 role. Doueihi doesn't play eventually, which means you get Verrills points. If you don't like Verrills' score, you get a second bite of the cherry, and you can bring up your 19th player, your 18th player, into the 4 jersey, and you get his score. So you just get 2 cracks at it, for what you need. I hope that makes sense. If not, there's plenty other mentions of it. In other videos and other little posts and stuff on Facebook, etc. Doueihi to DCE and Tupou to Pap, or Ponga. Daniel Tupou? Interesting. Personally, I'd be picking Ponga. I just think he has a little bit more upside. Doueihi to DCE, lock in DCE. I think he's going to have a big week against the Dogs, I believe. So that's that. It's been my last trade on Doueihi last week. That's unfortunate for sure. Mazu and Gilbert not playing is a real pain. Yeah, actually, the Mazu one, tough. No trades and 3 players short. Sorry to hear, DJ. Hope you your last round is a bit better on this one. Who'd you captain, Cleary or Turbo if you have both? I think Cleary, it's with a better average, but I think Turbo has every chance to go big and then get an early rest, which I'm sure Cleary could do also. But yeah. I'm using my last 2 trades for the year. It's been fun. Hopefully I can crack into the top 5,000 and win my head-to-head final. These are trades I'm considering making. Albert Kelly and Averillo to Amone, the Dragons, and DCE. Ooh, nice. Averillo and Doueihi to Amone and Cleary. Wow, okay. I think the second one, man. I think you can get Averillo and Kelly's still playing. So yeah, I think you can keep them and if you have a few issues next week, then you can play them and you're not sitting 16, 15 players, for example. Only probably number 2 that I'll have 4 cash outs, which I don't think is good. Yeah, okay. But in that case, mate, I think that having 4 cash outs, how does that make a difference? 1 or 2, because you're bringing in the same 2 players, really. 3 cash outs, and I could loop for Feeder. No, I think for Feeder's a good chance of going big. Yeah, second one's a winner. Love the content. Grand final this week. Thank you, Sam. 1 trade left. I'm currently playing Verrills. Think he's my best option. Who would you pick out of Grant, Brandon Smith, or play Verrills and get Ponga or Hudson Young? Cheers. Who would you play out of them too? I'd be playing them 2 over Verrills. I'm not exactly sure I understand the question, if I'm honest. I'd be going Hudson Young over Ponga if that's what you're thinking of. Ponga, Munster, or Hughes. I think Munster's your man. But yeah, you won't see Ponga getting rested over the last 2 games. We can see Munster or Hughes getting rested. Yeah, I just think Munster's your man. If you're looking for the highest scorer, I'd say he's your man. Can someone explain it? Yeah, I already spoke about that one. Pitch, you trading at 5'8" this week. Mentioned that in my last video. I don't think he's the right man. I'd go Amone if you want to go a half. If I play Trent Liero, may I just set a Keon. Can I then trade Keon to someone else and still receive the points in my emergencies? Yeah, only if you have them in your interchange and you're wanting someone to come in and replace from the emergencies up into the interchange. Unless yes, they're an edge. That makes sense. Trades this week, I just need to win my head-to-head final. Do we this year? Then Tupou to Pappenhausen. I think we already mentioned this guy. Yeah, completely fine. That first one, I begin DC if you can. Bring in Garrick for last 2 games, Bulldogs and Cowboys. Yes, I like that. Like that play. Jack TK, thank you. The singlet is unbelievable. One in my first year of fantasy in a league of 8, and as my opponent's team for grand finals massacred with suspensions and injuries, but watching your videos helps a lot. Cheers, brother. Keen for next season. Thanks so much, Brocky. I'm looking forward to it as well. We'll be ready up for a big one. Yep, I'll get the Discord link in the comments. 2 trades left, so you'll be using both this week and go hard. I don't need to make any. Yeah, if you've got 2 trades left and you don't need that, if you don't need to make any, that probably just means you're sitting with like 18 or 19. So maybe, is there any chance you could do a downgrade, a big downgrade at 228 and then get a Cleary if you don't have him? Otherwise, if you don't have to, you don't have to. There could be a bunch of injuries next week and then you can use them then. Yeah, just one of those things. Unfortunately, you haven't had to use the last 2 trades. Doesn't really matter. I suppose, you know, if you can think about it in a context of what a few other people have done and run out of trades in sort of a couple of rounds ago, but had sort of 19 to 20 really good players. That's also a decent option to utilize your trades. But yeah, you're obviously in this position now, so just go with it. Final couple rounds been absolute train wreck, that's for sure. Yeah, and that's the other issue with Infinite Cricket here. I used my final 2 trades in round 20 and still holding on okay, which is cool. Yeah, so it shows that a lot of the guys are still kind of holding on all right with 16, 17, 18 decent players and surviving. Yeah, so NRL Physio. Yeah, with the Damien Cook thing, it sounds like from what he said, he won't play unless he's 100% fit, which I think really means there's a very high chance he's not going to play, which is a little bit annoying, but makes sense. And I think our team's going to have to get ready for that. Grant and Ponga or DC and Amone? I think the second one, man. DC and Amone. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. Who do I put in my emergencies? Best, Jaden Campbell or Simonson? Meaning, who do you play? If it's who do you play, I'd go Best, Campbell, then Simonson. And in terms of the Jay Cook one, if he's going to be the guy that plays instead of Damien, I'm probably going to go with Warrior Hargraves, if I'm honest, just because we're not sure how he's going to play, but he could jump on and do really well. All right, that's probably going to be it with the questions. Obviously, a little bit less than normal, which is completely fine with 2 rounds to go. Seen views dropping down a fair bit. Obviously, most people have run out of trades. So, People Squad. If Damien Cook doesn't play, then we're going to be playing Watson, I'd imagine anyway. I think for us, our trade-in is going to be a Dewey to Munster or Ruben Garrick. I think they're the 2 really cool options. I think Garrick, you get both games out of him, definitely. Munster, I'm not exactly sure, but he will probably average just a little bit more over the back 2. Garrick has a chance of going massive this week. That's my only real question around that. So, in that case, we can decide that in the Discord and in the People's Squad chat there. But you know, if Cook's not going to play, we move Watson over, and that means Verrills comes up, but we're still going to have 18 if we're going to play. If we're going to trade Dewey, which I think is probably the smart option, to one of those guys, we'll still be able to use the loop, which will be completely fine, and we can use Averillo or Taff as our guy to do that. So Averillo, where are they playing? They're also late in the week, which is completely awesome. So we can sit him. They're ready to go and move into the 4 position if we, you know, and I'd be looking at maybe looping Verrills and Reece Walsh. I think would be my call in that one there. 2 guys that could, you know, get the 40 odd. They could get a 60 like Walsh did, but I think he's got a harder game this week, Reece. So I think that'll be smart to loop those 2 guys. We'll just play Watson in the hooker role. But with the Cook situation, they play Friday night. So with that one there, it might just be easier just to leave Watson in the starting side, as he's going to be playing first. And hopefully he plays that big minutes again. And then have Cook on the interchange, and we can just change it from there. I think that'll be the smartest option for anyone else that's in this situation as well. I'd be doing that. But in terms of other guys you might look to pick up, as I spoke about Amone as being a really decent option. In terms of anyone else to go down the list, I think Latrell could be solid, but there's every chance he gets rested as well. Hudson Young's a really cool one. I think he's going to get that 55 average at least over the last 2 games. He's been great. Joshy Curran actually is the other one that I think is very much touch and go with a 5-day turnaround. I think there's a small chance that he plays as well. So I'd be looking to do that with him as well, moving him to the interchange and playing it like that, and hopefully have some cover to be able to do that. Vanilla Blake will be solid. I'd be picking someone else over him though. In terms of anyone else, as I said, Amone's your one. Frizzell will be okay. Lolo's back if you have him and would be looking to play him. In terms of the rest of the guys, Gags will be solid in the centres if you need one of them. But really, there's not too many options in that mid range as well. If we're being honest here, if you're looking down this line with me, no one really stands out. And I suppose the most important part is if you're going to you want to get a consistent score. So I think Hudson Young's going to be really, really consistent in that little bit cheaper range. Munster has his opportunity to maybe be rested one game, and now we're in the 400s. There's really no one down there. Just big on Amone in that one, as I've said multiple times. So that's really it, guys. That's probably all I've got to say in this one. We'll jump in and do our trade in the video tomorrow, and also our preview for the week. I hope you enjoyed that one, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. See you later.